Ruth and Francis had been dating for 5 wonderful years. They had shared many happy moments together, and Ruth thought she had found her perfect match. However, as time went on, she started to feel frustrated. She was ready to take their relationship to the next level, marriage. But every time she brought it up, Francis would tell her to be patient, saying he needed more time to prepare himself. Ruth felt like she was stuck in limbo. She loved Francis, but she couldn't keep waiting forever. So she decided to give him an ultimatum. Francis, if you don't pay my bride price and marry me within the next month, I'll have to break up with you, she said firmly. Francis was taken aback, but he knew Ruth was serious. He started making plans for their wedding, and soon they were exchanging vows in a beautiful ceremony. Ruth was overjoyed, thinking she had finally secured her happy ending. The wedding night arrived, and Ruth was feeling like a queen. She took a relaxing bath, dressed in her elegant nightgown, and went to check on Francis in his hotel room. But what she saw left her speechless. Francis was in bed with another woman. Ruth's world came crashing down. She felt like she had been punched in the gut. She fell to the ground, her vision blurring, and everything went black. Francis rushed to her side as she fell, his heart racing with worry. Ruth, please wake up. Can you hear me? But she didn't respond. He quickly scooped her up and rushed her to the hospital, his mind filled with fears of the worst. At the hospital, the doctor took Ruth in for examination, leaving Francis and their friends anxiously waiting outside. After what felt like an eternity, the doctor emerged with a somber expression. Still dazed, Ruth begged the doctor, "Please tell them I've lost my memory. Make them believe it." The doctor hesitated. "But that would be unethical and it could ruin my career." Ruth pleaded, "Please, I'm begging you. I need to keep this a secret." The doctor finally agreed. "Okay, I'll do it." The doctor then announced to Francis and his friends, "Ruth has lost her memory. She can't recall anything from her past." Francis's reaction surprised everyone. Instead of concern, he looked relieved, even happy. "This is a blessing in disguise," he said with a smile. "We can start fresh, and I can make sure she never remembers our secrets." As soon as Ruth was discharged from the hospital, Francis took her home and began removing any reminders of their wedding. He hid the enlarged photos they had taken before the wedding, erasing any evidence of their marriage. However, Ruth noticed something was off. She felt like she had been living in a fog since the wedding. She tried calling her mom, but hesitated, knowing her mom would spoil her plan by revealing the truth, that she had not lost her memory at all. One day, a woman visited Francis, and Ruth was shocked by their familiarity. They didn't seem to care that she was there, and the woman even stayed overnight. Ruth couldn't sleep, her mind racing with questions and doubts. "How could you bring another woman into our home?" she thought, tears streaming down her face. As the night wore on, Ruth became more determined to uncover the truth about her husband and their marriage. Little did she know this was just the beginning of a mysterious journey that would lead her down a path of secrets, lies, and unexpected revelations. The next morning, Ruth's curiosity got the better of her. She approached the woman who had arrived with her husband the night before and asked, "Who are you?" Her voice shaking slightly. "I'm the mother of his children. We married 4 years ago," the woman replied. Ruth's eyes widened in shock. "What about me? What did he tell you about me?" The woman's expression turned sympathetic. "He said you're his mother's sister." Ruth nodded, trying to process this new information. "Yes, that's true. I'm his mother's sister." The woman continued, "I'll be going back to where my children are tomorrow. My husband, Francis, will be visiting us every weekend." Ruth felt a lump forming in her throat as the woman left. She was heartbroken and decided to confront Francis. Francis seemed taken aback by Ruth's questions. "What do you mean, Ruth? I don't know what you're talking about." Ruth's voice trembled. "Don't lie to me, Francis. I know about your wife and children. I know you've been visiting them every weekend." Francis's expression changed from confusion to shock. "Ruth, I married you out of pity. I didn't know how to tell you to leave after all those years of dating." Tears streamed down Ruth's face. "Pity? You married me out of pity?" Francis nodded. "Yes, Ruth. I'm sorry. I never loved you. My parents knew about everything and they agreed. It was best for us to marry to avoid hurting you." Ruth's eyes welled up with tears as she realized the truth. She had forced Francis to marry her and now she was paying the price. Ruth, please understand. I did not want to hurt you, but I couldn't keep living a lie, Francis said, his voice softening. Ruth knelt down, begging Francis not to divorce her, but he remained resolute. Ruth, this is what you've been doing, forcing me to stay in a loveless marriage. I don't love you, and it's obvious now. I need to be with my real family, not you. Ruth cried, regretting her actions. She had refused other men who wanted to marry her because of Francis, and now she was left with a broken heart.